Leonardo Watch, an aspiring reporter, moves to Hell Salem's lot, a breach between Earth and the outer world. He writes a letter to her sister, stating that it's been half a year since he came to this city. Some demons are distracting the city, and members of the Libra organization are protecting them. Leo is sitting in a restaurant and has not eaten anything for a few days. Vivon gives Leo something to eat. He says that he came here to become a reporter and took a reporter's course. Just then, a sonic speed monkey comes at speed and runs away with his camera. The other demon is sitting there. That monkey can't be seen with human eyes. When Leo runs after the monkey, he falls. When he wakes up, Zap comes in front of him and asks, "Is he a member of Libra?" He says yes unthinkingly. After this, Leonardo is taken to the headquarters of the Libra organization, and he is welcomed there. Then the man reveals that he accidentally brought Leo with him, because he had similar looks to Johnny. They watch the news, and a strange man is shown in it who looks like he is from another world. He warns the members of the organization that if they don't come, then he should destroy everything. He tells him that the door to the demon world will open every few minutes. Later they realize that it was the same monkey who ran away with his camera. After this, he tells the men, how can he see this monkey? Because his full name is Leonardo. The depth of the eyes of that country was given to him 6 months ago. When he was brought here with his parents, he also had a sister who could not walk. The door of the demon's world can be seen only from the depths of the eyes. They are attacked by the HLPD SWAT company, and Klaus offers him to join Libra. He asks him to start saving the world, and Leo goes with Zap to shoot the monkey. After this, Leo falls there, and when he wakes up, he sees Vivon lying under the stones. He says to him, "There is a lot of danger here." The other man tells Leo to go after the monkey, and he tries to kill the demon because the door to demon world will open due to the monkey. Leo closes the door using the depth of his eyes. They killed all the demons. Leo goes back to the restaurant. A mysterious man is sitting behind him, and he says that, finally, he has found Leo. Zap tries to attack Klaus, but he defeats him, and Leo feels strange to see this. Then Klaus says to Leo that Zap always tries to defeat him. Then Leonardo works as a pizza delivery boy and goes out to deliver pizza. Zap receives his pizza, but he doesn't pay Leo. Leo asks him to return the pizza. Leo asks Zap why he is always everywhere he goes. When they are both going, Leo sees Demon using his all-seeking ease of the gods. They see a truck that is not seen by normal humans. He sees that they are storing human bodies in the truck. But suddenly, a demon sees him, and he runs away with Zap. Demons come there and attack them. Zap is badly injured. Demon talks to his other partner about him, and his partner says he should take Leo away with him. He takes Leo with him, but Zap leaves his blood on his shirt. On the other hand, Chain Sumeragi is trying to find the same truck, but due to the magic, she cannot see it. The demon takes Leo in the same truck and wonders why he could see them. A demon comes to Leo in that truck, and he says that he has RC code looking into his eyes. Leo says to Sonic Speed Monkey that he is a member of Libra and that he should do something to defeat these demons. Klaus is upset about Leo. He says if demons learn about his abilities, they will make wrong use of them. Then Chain Sumeragi comes to Zap, who is very serious, but he tries to know Leo's exact location and tries to distract the demons. The demons come to Leo for an attack, but he can control all of them using his abilities. Zap learns about his location, and she and Klaus go there. They reach the truck with Steven and kill demons. Leo is badly injured, then all the members of the Libra organization go to the hospital. Leonardo is in bad condition because he uses his eye magic at a very high level. Steven tells others that they managed to save 19 missing people. Doctors say that he was admitted and discharged after a few days. He goes to the backside of the hospital and sees a graveyard there. A mysterious girl is also sitting there. Her name is White, and she tells him that she is a ghost. She says to Leo that they should be friends. Leo does not believe her and takes her picture, which is captured by his camera. He says that if she is a ghost, then why is her picture captioned? But she says nothing in reply. A monster-type thing comes into Leo's house and destroys everything. His landlord comes and tells him to leave the house, because he wants to build a luxurious house there. Leo comes to Steven's office, but he is busy playing games. Zap comes there and tells him that a man beats him, and when he tries to attack, nothing happens to him, and he beats him too in reaction. He tells Zap that the afterworld is a special reward, and a person who achieves this becomes as powerful as a demon. Chain Sumeragi comes there. She takes a video with her, and they see the sensation of some drugs happening. They are all talking about serious problems, but Klaus is still busy with his game. They decide to catch these smugglers and try to find out about their places. Klaus meets with a girl named KK. They both go to Alterworld, where he meets a second person named Korosakov, who is the checkmaster. Klaus tells Korosakov to go away, but he doesn't. Then they both meet with Don Arlalel, and he asks them to play. If they win, then he will give answers to all their questions. Klaus wants to win, to get the answer to all the summers. Korosakov starts playing and says if he wins, then Don has to kill Klaus. Korosakov is defeated at the end, and Don is going to kill the man, but Klaus comes and says to play with him. Don Arlalel tells him to play with him for 99 hours. He says to Klaus that if he wins, he will leave Korosakov. He is in bad condition. The heat starts increasing as time goes on. Don Arlalel asks Klaus why he wants to save Korosakov, and he says he wants to fight for humanity. Klaus manages to withhold the game for 99 hours, and Don gives answers to all his questions. Don cannot win, leaves the man, and gives all the answers to his questions. He gives them information about smugglers, and all the members of the Libra organization catch smugglers. Leonardo is sitting with White, and they both become best friends. Leonardo is on a train and observes some people who emit light. A boy named Black tells him that 50% are monsters, 20% are unknown, and 25% are humans. Leonardo asks for the remaining 5%, and he says that the remaining people are so strange that one can't see them. Everyone is having a party, and Petrick talks to Leo. Everyone becomes attentive when Leo says that he saw someone with an incredible crimson aura. Zap tells Leo that he saw a vampire. They have to call Lucky Abrams, who is a big vampire hunter. Zap and Leonardo go to take Lucky Abrams with them. A big accident happened there. Zap and Leo get injured, but the hunter does nothing. He says this city is as dangerous and harmful as ever. Then they arrange a meeting in Libra, and Gilbert says they knew Abrams was coming, which surprises Leo. Abrams lets them understand the situation during the fight with the vampires. He says that he has no power but has luck, and due to this, he does not get injured or suffer harm, but the others may have danger in their lives. He shows them an injured hand, and then asks Leo to get to know the owner of the hand. When Leo starts using his magic to know, he cannot see anything. He tries to see, but light shines and sparkles and something is wrong with his eyes. Then they get on a train and go to where the 13 main vampires live. They record a video and then ask Leo to tell them about vampires' location, their names and how they were seen, but Leo cannot see anything. His eyes crack and blood begins to flow from his eyes. An urgent request comes to the members of Libra. Chain records KK and Stevens fight with vampires and sends it to Klaus. They are beaten very badly by them, and Klaus gets angry. When the information goes to Klaus, he shows her picture to Leo and asks for her name. He tells him her name, and when the train reaches there, Klaus himself attacks the girl, kills her without the help of anyone else, and changes her into a key. After defeating them, when everyone is going home, Leonardo remembers that when he asks the boy about his name, the boy doesn't reply and says that he knows him. Then he goes to meet White. Leonardo goes to meet White and tells him to go back home with him, but her mood is off, and he doesn't know the reason. Then Leo goes with Zap. On the way, Zap suggests they eat something, but Leo says they will be late for the meeting. They both argue about eating or meeting. Then a big monster machine attacks a truck and destroys it. Then it starts chasing them. Klaus goes to meet the dog Hummer with Lucky Abrams and attacks Deldro, who is hiding in Humor's body. She says that Allegora has come there, and he can take his blood if he wants. Allegora, the queen of monomania, is on the hunt to find her creation, Hummer. Leonardo is in big danger. He gets caught on the side of the truck after falling from the scooter. Allegora sees Leo and captures him. Her monster truck is tearing up anything that gets in its way. He calls others for help, but Allegora picks him up. Then the boy who is on the train comes to meet Allegora, but the head of the blockade comes in his place and says that Allegora has sent him there. Then she tells Leonardo that she likes both Deldro and dog, so she makes pieces of Deldro's body, makes his juice, and changes his blood with the dog's blood. And now, they have both become one, and they are both alive, and she can love them. The dog hums loudly, and he calls Klaus to save him, while the others find Allegora. Dog Hummer attacks her with Deldro, but nothing happens, and he falls away from her. The others find Allegora and make plans. Then she talks to Leonardo about her love for them and asks about his love. Then Leo's monkey gives him an earphone and contacts him. They tell Leo that he only has to change the direction of the machine. He does this, as it seems. Chain grabs falling Leonardo, and they fall into a net created by Zap's blood. Later at the hospital, he sees White and hides. When he decides to head home, Sonic refuses to go, and Leonardo gets annoyed and goes to White, inviting White to a movie. They sneak out and see a comedy movie. Then, after this, she starts crying. He reminds him of his family, and he thinks of himself as pathetic because he always causes trouble for his sister and family. White tells him he is a good guy, sits closer to him, and hugs him. When Leonardo is going back home after seeing a movie, he buys some burgers and is about to cross the street. He sees an accident. Someone is getting hit by a truck. He goes to help, but sees that the person is fine. He comes near, and the blockade says to give him a burger, but he refuses and goes away. The other person comes there and gives him a burger. The next day, Leo goes there and sees that the blockade and truck people are selling burgers. He comes to the blockade and says that he will bring food for him, and they start eating together daily. Martin and Roger get into trouble because Roger pissed himself, and Martin has to wear a mask to avoid smelling. They hit Nage again, and Roger gets angry. He starts beating Nage, but Martin stops him. Nage becomes red, some spores restart unleashing, and everyone around him collapses. Martin does not faint because he is wearing a mask. He takes Roger and flees from there. The next day, Leo waits for Nage, but he does not come. Then, he hears the previous news, a blast happens, and due to this blast, the memories of thousands of people are lost. Leonardo thinks that it happened because of Nage, with whom he used to eat meals every day. And the blast also happens due to his burger partner. He goes to the blockade, and they face a blast there. He locates him, but realizes he has no recollection of the previous night's hours. Martin then knocks Leonardo down and kidnaps them both. He attacks Nage, and spores begin to release, and everybody forgets the last 2 weeks. Leonardo gets discharged from the hospital and wants to eat some burgers. He has no idea why he ordered 2 burgers, because his memory of the previous 2 weeks has faded. He notices Nage approaching him. He claims to have been in this situation before. However, he decides to give him his burger. Everyone tries to recall what happened to him, but he can't. Later, he goes to White's house and encounters a boy who remembers seeing the subway before. White explains that he is her elder brother, and his name is Black. Leo is too confused to see him. The boy says that they are seeing each other for the first time. Leonardo and Black are both sitting in the restaurant. Leo asks which disease White has, and she tells him that she has some heart problems. But there is no need to worry because she will recover very soon. Vivon spills some coffee on Leo, and Black tries to hold it, but it hits him. Black apologizes, saying that he has psi powers, but is not able to hold them. When he comes back, he thinks of Black as he sees him in the subway, but he tries to ignore it. After this, he reaches into the Libra base and sees Zap missing from there. He is surprised at this because he usually finds Zap trying to beat Callus. Zap calls him and says to send Klaus for help because he has been taken hostage and will be killed. The organizer of Underground World demands from Zep that he get a brilliant fighter. Leo and Klaus both go there. Klaus is forcefully sent to fight, and Zap says he can go home, but they do not let him go. Klaus defeats everyone one after another, and Leo is looking for Zap, but some people stop him from going further. When all the fighters are killed, the owner is very impressed by Klaus, and he eventually comes to fight with Klaus. The owner is very powerful, but Klaus manages to fight him. Klaus struggles a lot to fight with him for some time, but he gets angry and blows up his head. When he kills the owner, a creature comes out of it, like Bloodbreed. Who is controlling that body? Bloodbread explains that the owner is just using his body and attacking Klaus. He says to Klaus that he felt the attack for the first time. The dead body is controlled by that creature. After this, the creature fights with Klaus and blows in one fell swoop. After this, when everyone starts leaving, Zap thanks Klaus for helping him and explains that some bad guys ran when they saw Klaus's fight. Leo is roaming in his car on the road when he sees Black. Leo drops him off at the hospital. On the way, they talk about Halloween, saying that people believe that on Halloween, the dead and spirits would come out. He tells Leo to take care of his sister and always be her friend. When he leaves him, Black enters a room with Femt and other comments, and he goes next, causing everyone to boo him. Black and White and their family are in danger. There is also a blue light with them. Leo and Black are watching a video about the Great Collapse and how casters from both worlds stopped the collapse by using their abilities. Zap is attracted to a receptionist, and he starts going to that hotel again and again and asking for her number. Due to eating fast food daily, he has a lot of fat on him. The woman complains to Chain about a man harassing her and asks for her advice. Chain and Zap argue with each other. After this, Steven is informed that half-body of Bloodbreed has entered Hellsalem's lot because the Bloodgate has opened in India. There is a massive attack, and the Libra members have to go there and see the Bloodbreed fighting with an unknown man. They can't understand which of the two they have to kill first. The other enemy starts hitting Zap, and Zap gets frightened. Steven and KK try to convince him, but he does. They destroy Blackbreed, but it starts regenerating itself, and the unknown enemy defeats him by using different techniques. The unknown figure is recognized as Reiju Juge by Steven, who is using Zap to translate his language. Reiju asks Zap to render the true womb egg and forms a blood barrier around Zap and egg. He asks him to hit all the eyes of the egg at once, Zap hits all the eyes and destroys the egg. Raju congratulates Zap and calls him his best disciple. Everyone is surprised after seeing this. Black asks White where she met Leo, and she tells him in the hospital. Black states that Leo said they met in a subway. Leonardo is unable to see the true name of the blood breed and cannot seal it. No one can understand the language of Raju, and Klaus says this is because he does not have a heart and has a half body. They are curious about where the other half of his body is. Raju tells them that his junior disciple is coming. A plane arrives there, and someone is sitting in it. In the next scene, Black visits the graveyard and talks to the King of Despair. He says to him that he can do what he wants to his body, but he does not want to involve White in this. The King of Despair tells him that White is doing everything of her own free will. After this, he takes over Black's body. Raju claims that his new disciple is the Shinatobi branch's heir to the Big Dipper-style blood technique. Zap is the Kagutsuchi branch's heir, and if he were stronger, he would not have needed to separate the two styles. However, Zap explains that humans are incapable of using two styles simultaneously. The other half of the body of Bloodbreed is on top of the plane in which his disciple is. Zed tries to help the other disciple, but he opens the plane himself. Zap laughed because he did not expect half human, half fish. As the plane reaches Hell Salem's lot, a monster destroys it, and Doghummer and Deldro Brody smash it into a building. Klaus, Zap, and Leonardo quickly go to fight with it. Leonardo tries to learn the full name. When he manages to get the full name, he gives it to Klaus and Steven. Dog and Deldro accompany Leonardo as they leap from the building. As they fall, Leonardo notices a strange light, which explodes later. Zap offends Zed, but they prepare to fight the blockade. Zap and Zed realize what is required of them and attack him, giving Klaus a chance to seal him. Raju gives them congratulations, even though he comments that their level of fighting with Bloodbreeds is garbage, and decides to leave Zed to them, and then leave without even being given a chance to speak. From overworking and the shock of the news, Zed faints. Aligura, Fempt, and Black are sitting and thinking about what to do next. Aligura gives him a device, and the King of Despair gets excited. White's condition worsens, and she recalls how a King of Despair enters Black's body. She wakes up, and the King of Despair comes to the hospital in his black personality and says she has to bring the eyes of Leonardo to him, and then he will give her brother back. Then she remembers her past memories with her father and decides, with William, to call each other White and Black. Leonardo says to Klaus that he wants to write a letter to his sister, but he doesn't know how to write. Leonardo, Zed, and Zap are having lunch at Vivan's place when there is a huge explosion. Something has fallen on the building, and their lunch gets spoiled. Zed quickly moves from there. Vivan and Leo are saving them. Zap prevents Zed from being crushed by the rock. He tells Zed not to bother him, and Zed apologizes and thanks him for his assistance, which Zed did not expect. He goes outside to see what is going on, and when he arrives, he sees Klaus engaged in combat with multiple enemies, and he asks for his assistance. Leonardo extends an invitation to Zap and Zed to dine. Leonardo locates a restaurant for lunch. However, they do not have a comfortable place to sit. However, Zap refuses to accompany Zed because their food will smell fishy. Zap joins them and takes them to a sushi restaurant, which Zed does not mind. Then they go to a couple of restaurants, each of which is more bizarre than the other. Leonardo warns him not to eat anything in the restaurant. Leonardo complained that they do not go anywhere normally. Zap is irritated by his complaint, but Zed is relieved that Leonardo has changed everything. Zap tells Zed to haze him after hearing his remark. Klaus and Steven are informed about the thousands of Togioka brothers by Daniel Law. An emergency mafia family has obtained 100 Chinese-made powered suits, and they require Libra's assistance. Steven realizes that they could be arrested by Daniel, and his fears are justified. But such a large case will find its way to them. Troublemakers may want to take advantage of the opportunity. Steven reveals that he is pushing Klaus's buttons, and Klaus is already riled up, and they agree. Blitz goes to a meeting with the League of High Order Spirituals organization, and he takes Klaus and Steven with him. Leo and the rest see a fight between the lover and wife of the restaurant owner. Meanwhile, the King of Despair notices a woman running around with a cut on her face. She informs him that she will be murdered. When the chasers approach, the King of Despair enters an alley and tells them to guess who he is. If they are correct, he will capture that woman for them. And if they are defeated, he will murder them all. The first one mocks and then explodes. Leonardo and Zed are taken to the hospital. Zed is looking for Zap. White says that she feels as if she is praying or whispering it for Leonardo's sake. The King of Despair appears there, saying she is lying there and praying for his sake, and wonders if she still hopes for salvation. White tells Leonard that she wants him to give her his all-seeing eyes. He looked surprised. White reflects on her childhood with her father, Benjamin Macbeth, and mother, Emma Macbeth. White possesses no physical strength, but her twin brother appears to be powerful for both of them. He is aware of his abilities without even realizing it, but he chooses not to use his power, and he is frequently beaten by boys. But he realizes that he has powers when he cries. Benjamin claims that they do not need to be casters and wonders. If White has been forgotten, why has not Black become interested in becoming a caster? But when he appears, she prevents her father from explaining why. White develops an interest in photography, but then a boy came along and threw the camera into the river. Black jumped into the river and took it back since he nearly drowned. He is in the hospital, and White says she doesn't care about cameras, and he should use his power so that he does not perish. She associates Black with the time she made a perfect mud ball, and he was envious to see it. He shattered it with his magic, and White went to make a new one without saying anything, and he felt abandoned. As a result, he resolved to increase his own power. When this happened, Father said it was a big deal, and Black explained that it happened because he cried a lot, which makes Black and White laugh. Black claims that she is good at photography and that he wants to photograph her while she is sleeping, but the image is blurry. When White sees the picture, he begins to cry. He hugged him and thanked him. White later encouraged Black to become a caster and start protecting. At the chapel, she apologizes to Leonardo. The King of Despair holds Leonardo using Black's physical strength. White claims that he requires Black backs from him. Leonardo collapses after she inserts the device into his eyes. During Halloween, the King of Disappointment uses Leo's eye power to ignite a massive disaster on Hell Salem's lot. The King of Despair transports Leo to a different location by utilizing a magical circle and his powers. He claims that he is not human. She is only alive because her parents placed a barrier around her heart. Later, at the chapel, the King of Despair shoots her, and the origins of White and her brother were revealed. Elsewhere, Fempt observes the King of Despair's destruction and remarks that the second collapse has begun. Fempt smacks Leonardo to make sure he is still alive. He informs him that he is no longer alive. Steven tells Klaus that the League is waiting for the caster to come and start barrier repair. The Elder informs Libra that the barrier is not destroyed completely, and the final one lies in Mary Macbeth. Fempt travels to Chapal to see the King of Despair. The King of Despair commented that he saw this collapse 3 years ago. Libra had discovered Leonardo's location. Zap and Zed are approaching him. The King of Despair says he is not lacking in nonsense as their whole existence is abused, and at that moment, the city building starts to shift and fly. Sonic finds Leo outside, hands him his camera, and shows him a video recorded by White, in which Leonardo begs Sonic to save him and not abandon him. Blitz tells him that White is not human, but Leo already knows that she is a barrier. Leonardo continues to find White, but Dog Hummer and Deldro catch up to him, realizing he should get on top of the newly formed tower. Klaus reaches the top of the tower and sees the King of Despair. He says he is not waiting for Klaus. He says he came there for William. The King of Despair tries to injure himself, saying to Klaus that it is a game and he must protect him from himself. Leo kills all the zombies with the help of KK and Steven, and one of his eyes cracks. When Leo gets panicky, Zap encourages him, although he punches Zap. The King of Despair fights with Kalus, and Leo also reaches him. Leo forbids White to go near the light and reveals that he knows who she is. Black and White argue with each other. Black says the world without him is nothing, but White denies it, saying that even without her, the world will continue to exist and he must live. They both hug each other, and Black says he does not have the power to recover and stabilize her, but he will use his remaining power to re-establish a new barrier. White disappears after this. Klaus is happy and congratulates Leo for his efforts. He says to him that he is proud of him because he saved all of them.